Hi, this is Mr. Knowles, and this lesson is a lesson focusing on division on a base 10 grid. And basically, we're using the concept of the area model of multiplication to solve division problems. So you'll have to get this worksheet from me in class, or I believe I have it on my webpage where you can download it, print it, and then work along with me as you watch the video. So let's get started. So again, it should say division on a base 10 grid at the top. Number one, complete the following multiplication problems. All right, just going to make my pen a little thicker for you guys at home. 14 times 2, that's 28. 14 times 3, well, not really sure, but let's see. I think I can solve it. 4 times 3, that's 12. Carry the 1. And 1 times 3, that's 3, plus the 1, that's 42. Another way to think about that one is look at the problem before, the 28, and you could do 28 plus another 14 to get 42. But I think you guys already know that. 14 times 10, I know it's 140. Do you guys know that trick there? Basically, 14 times 1, that's 14. And you have 10 of those now, 10 14s. So you would have 140. You're basically moving the place value by 1. You're increasing it by 10. So 10 times 14 is 140. I hope that made sense to you at home. Next one, 14 times 5. 4 times 5, that's 20. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2, that's 70. Or another way to look at it is if you weren't sure, the first two problems, 14 times 2 and 14 times 3, you could add those answers, 28 and 42, and that will give you what 14 times 5 is. So that works. 14 times 20, well, that's just twice as big as 14 times 10. So it's two 140s. Isn't that true? So your answer is 280. And the last one, 14 times 30. Well, that's the same as 14 times 3 earlier on, except you just have a 0 because it's 10 times as big. All right, moving along. Solve the following division problems using the multiplication problems above and the grids to help. So I have 322 divided by 14. Okay, so I'm going to use the area model of multiplication to solve this. So I'm going to take the 14 and I'm going to set it up over here on the side like we learned how to do multiplication earlier on. So this is 10, this is 4, and they represent 14 along that side. Now the 322, that needs to be the total area, because we're dividing, of this region somehow when we're done. That region is going to be 322. This will be 322 when we're done. We're not done yet. We haven't started. That's how we're going to solve it. We're going to do columns of 14 using what we just did earlier before this problem. So up above on your paper, you have all these problems. So let's think about how many 14s can we get to get into 322. So if I look up above, how close can I get to 322? Well, 14 times 20 is 280. That's a good one because that's close. So let's use 14 times 20. So this is where the top part works. We're going to put the 20 up above. This is 10, and this is another 10. Oops, that makes 20. Excuse me. And now I'm going to fill this rectangle in with that. And I know that really large rectangle is 280, but maybe you're not really comfortable seeing that, so maybe you need to break it up into its parts. But I know the whole thing's 280, but maybe you're a little uncomfortable with that or not sure. So we can solve it by these smaller rectangles. 10 times 10, that's 100. And to the right, it's another 10 times 10. That's another 100. Lower left-hand corner, 4 times 10 is 40. And the lower right-hand corner, I have another 4 times 10, that's 40. If I add those up, I know that's 280. So over here, I'm going to take 322, and I'm going to subtract 280. Remember, all those together is 280. I'm subtracting because I'm dividing. 2 minus 0 is 2. I can't do 2 minus 8, so I have to borrow from the 3, make that a 2. 12 minus 8 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. So I have 42 more to get rid of there, to divide. Well, I believe I know how many 14s go into 42 if I look back up above. 14 times 3 is 42. So I just need 3 more columns up here, and that's 42. Right here, these 3 columns, 3 times 14, I know that is 42. And I subtract that from over here where I'm showing my work, and I'm left with nothing. So the 10 up above, let's show that a little thicker there. The 10 up here plus the 10 up here plus the 3 is my answer. 10 plus 10 plus 3, that's 23. Let's do one more. 238 divided by 14. So again, we're going to set this up similar to what we've done in the past for the area model of multiplication. So here's the 14 goes here. This is 10. I need 4 of these. And that represents 14. And I'm trying to build an area of 238 with one side being 14. One dimension's 14. So I'm going to have to go back to the top of my page and think about that. Which one of these gets me really close? How about 14 times 10? So if I go down here, 14 times 10 is going to get me pretty close. It won't give me the exact answer, but I can do 14 times 10. And I know 14 times 10 is going to get me closer. This whole thing is 140. So if I take the 238 and I subtract, because this is division, 140, I'm left with 8. 13 minus 4 is 9. I'm left with 98. All right. Now I have to get 98. So up above, any of these problems get me to 98? No, but I can do 14 times 5 is 70. So let's do that. 14 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 14 we know is 70. And I'm going to subtract that from 98. I'm left with 28. Oh, I know 2 14s equal 28. 2 times 14 is 28. So I just need 2 more up here. 2 times 14. That's 28. All right. So my answer is up here. 10 plus 5 plus 2. That's 17. So the answer to this problem is 17. I hope this was helpful to you. Keep practicing. I know this can be tough for some people, but I really honestly feel if you keep practicing and continuing to practice, it's going to make a difference. It's going to help you be more aware of how to do these problems and be more comfortable with division. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If not, please ask in class and I'll do my best to help you out. Take care.